Welcome, welcome. Welcome, Connie, Wendy, Susan. Good to see you. Welcome, Cindy and Fifth. Like there's Bill. Welcome, Bill. Good to see you all. There's Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you.
Oh,
Hey, Bill. All right, good to have you all here with us. And we will, let's give people another minute or two since you all are right on time, which we thank you for. That's awesome. Here comes Wendy's counterpart here. Welcome, Brian. Yeah, so as we get ready, as always, recommend that you have something to write on, have a comfortable seat for meditation, and we'll get going in just a minute. Here comes Louise. Welcome, Louise. Welcome, Brian. Good. Nice group gathering here. I know one more person who's supposed to be on, so I'm kind of waiting for her. But we'll get going. All right. So welcome everyone to this Raising Our Vibration meditation session on the Humanities Team platform. Thank you to Humanities Team for hosting us. Thank you to Garth for handling the controls and the recording. And thank you to all of you who are joining us tonight. And we still have a few people coming on, but we'll get started and get right into it. We are continuing our exploration of meditations in this phenomenal book, Awakening the Mind by Anna Wise. And tonight we are into chapter 6, which is called Self-Exploration. Seems to be a tongue twister, and understanding. So self-exploration and understanding. Making the subconscious conscious, which reminds me of my favorite Carl Jung quote, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you will call it fate. So let's go into that unconscious, make it conscious so we can master it instead of it mastering us, which is the theme of mastery is what Anna is talking about in this chapter. So let's read a little from Anna and then we'll get right into our meditation. So on page 147, she says, to the greater extent that you can develop an increasingly deeper understanding of your own internal process, you can develop a greater influence on both your internal way of being and your external self-expression of your inner being. Choosing to cultivate mastery means learning to be able to choose our states of consciousness. And through practice, you can do just that. Through self-exploration and self-understanding, you can begin to develop the ability to have conscious control of your internal states. This in turn leads to choice. And through the choice to be in higher states of consciousness, you can gain mastery. On page 149, she says, the first half of this book showed you how you can develop the awakened mind state independently of a specific content so that it can be used and experienced in any way and all areas of your life. So again, the awakened mind state is when all the different levels of consciousness, all the different brain waves are active together and integrated and contributing to our state of consciousness. Now we want to talk about how to use that state, the awakened mind state, for our own self-exploration and understanding. In other words, working with specific rather than generic content. This in turn will feed back into the development of your personal mastery, increasing your inner self-control, abilities, and choice. We can use our higher state of consciousness to understand and develop personal content of consciousness. As we continue to work with our internal content, we continue to develop and improve our internal state. As this cycle repeats, we increase our mastery. So the meditation we're going to do tonight is an exploration of our personal timeline in this life. And it's called, on page 157, Your Evolutionary Path. And the broad strokes of this meditation are we'll first go through our meditation cues to get in a relaxed, positive inner state. And then we're going to ask our subconscious for a symbol of where we are on our evolutionary path, where we are on the timeline of our life right now. And then we're going to, from our perspective right now, look back on our path and note significant events on our path that led us to now. And then Stephen's going to pick up with the guidance and guide us to look forward from where we are now to where we might be going. All right, so that's the basic trajectory of the meditation. So as always, we encourage you to have something to jot down notes on when you come out of the meditation, in case you get some interesting insights or things you want to recommend, and make sure you have a comfortable seat for meditation. All right, so let's move right into our practice. So find a comfortable upright seat, have your feet firmly on the ground, and as always, let's cup our hands with the tips of our thumbs touching lightly. Reason for that is that's a nice open and receptive posture. Okay, and once you're settled in that position, you can lightly close your eyes. And just take a moment to settle in your seat, to be here now, right where you are, and just as you are. And take a deep breath in. And let go, letting go of the day, letting go of anything that might have been on your mind. Just really settling into being right here and right now, together in this group. As you settle in your seat, feel out into the space all around you. And consider this your sacred space, a safe space, a space that embraces you. Notice how when you sit in this safe, sacred space, your body begins to relax. And now consider your intention for this practice. Why is this important to you? Why is it important to you to tune into where you are now in your personal timeline, where you've been and where you might be headed? Maybe there's a particular issue in your life right now that you can gain insight into by seeing how you've arrived here now and where you might be going in that area of your life. And consider that this practice, our practice, is not only for you, that the effect of this practice extends to all of us gathered here, to all of our loved ones, to everyone we interact with, and even more widely and invisibly throughout our collective consciousness and all that is. You are an essential part of a greater whole. And you being exactly who you are, just as you are, is vitally important to the whole. So consider dedicating this practice to the well-being of all beings, that all of us might tune in more deeply to the essence of who we are and to our unique expression in service to the whole. And now let's move more deeply into presence and relaxation by focusing down into the soles of our feet, contacting the ground. Awaken sensory awareness here in your feet and your toes, and really feel the contact of the ground underneath you. Feel the solid support and grounding presence of the earth. Feel that grounded presence flowing up through your feet, through your shins and calves, your knees and thighs, into your hips and your pelvic bowl, resting down in your seat. Feel the weight of your body resting down in your pelvic bowl, resting down in your seat, resting down on the earth. Focus into your hands resting cupped in your lap. Awaken sensory awareness here. Allow your hands to soften and relax as if they are melting down into your legs. Feel the soft openness in your hands, connected to this soft openness in your heart. As your hands relax, allow your arms and shoulders to relax down, releasing any tension in your shoulders, your neck, and your head. Imagine and feel as if a string is attached to the top of your head, drawing your spine gently upright like a string of luminous pearls. Feel your spine like a channel of light flowing upwards, right up through the top of your head, which opens to the sky above. Feel the tingling clarity at the top of your head. Tuck your chin just slightly to gently lengthen the back of your neck. Lightly close your lips and breathe in and out through your nose. Rest your tongue up on the roof of your mouth, with the tip of your tongue touching the gum line behind your upper front teeth. Soften and relax your tongue here. When you soften your tongue, it sends a relaxation signal through your vagus nerve from the center of your brain, right down through your heart, down through your abdomen, and out through your whole body. As you feel this relaxation, smile, a subtle smile of calm happiness, of appreciation and gratitude for this time together. To tune into our subconscious, tune into our evolutionary path, so we can more consciously move forward on this path with deeper insight and vision, greater sense of purpose and belonging. Allow this feeling of smiling to shine through your eyes. Release any tension from your eyebrows and your forehead. Now focus again to the top of your head. We're going to feel relaxation flowing down through our whole body like a warm liquid. Feel relaxation flowing down over your face, through your brain, down the back of your head. Feel this liquid relaxation flowing down through your neck, your shoulders, arms, and hands. Flowing down through your chest and upper back. Down through your abdomen and lower back. This warm, soothing liquid relaxation flowing down through your hips, your legs, and your feet. Feel a sense of deep relaxation in every cell. And settle into a state of stillness, silence, and serenity. From this place of deep peace and relaxation, allow yourself to begin to find a symbol for where you are right now in your life. You may see a color or an image, feel a physical sensation, hear a sound or a voice in your head, or just a sense of knowing where you are in your personal journey. So allow that symbol, that expression of where you are right now to arise from your subconscious. It might just be a feeling. Allow it to be whatever it is for you. And as this symbol of where you are right now arises, stand with that symbol at a point along your timeline that represents right now. You can feel that your timeline either extends from where you are now backward behind you and forward in front of you, or you might feel like backward is to the left and forward is to the right. Just allow it to be however it's easiest for you to imagine your personal timeline, your personal evolutionary path. And place yourself right on the now point in that timeline with your symbol. Feel yourself here now, just as you are, with that symbol representing where you are now. Now, from this point right now, imagine and feel yourself going back in your timeline as far back as you'd like to, perhaps all the way to your birth. From whatever point you decide to start from, just very slowly move along your timeline from back then toward now, just noting significant events. And see if you can allow the events to arise from your subconscious. So don't try to overthink this or get this perfect or even in perfect order. Just allow important events to arise in your consciousness as you move through your timeline from way back then toward now, at whatever pace feels good to you. You might note high points, low points, significant junctures on your path. Perhaps there were crossroads or turning points. You don't need to go in depth on each point, but just notice and maybe note significant feelings you had at different points on this path from then till now. Significant feelings you had, significant junctures in your life. Continue to move forward toward now. And start to approach now on your timeline. And see how every point on your path led you to where you are now. Get a sense for the internal logic of your path. It's not a straight line, but there's some flow to it that led you to where you are now. And return to standing at the now point and collect all those moments of the past. Allow them to merge into now. They all led you to where you are right here, right now. Allow that to collect and integrate. Become part of your conscious awareness, as well as integrated in your subconscious in ways beyond what you can imagine. So you're standing here now, in this moment, collecting your past, honoring how it led you here, now. And Stephen will guide us from now forward.
As you feel into that way forward, allow yourself to look once again at just where Kevin has guided you, into where you are on your personal evolutionary path. Review the images, the symbols, the links, the connections, just to help you clarify your experience, to help you to ground before you look down your path into the future. Now, knowing how all that you've just seen, all the symbols, all the connections to the past, all that inner knowing has led you to just where you are now. Now allow yourself to look forward on your path, to see what is ahead of you in more detail than ever before. Look forward. Look into the future. Even connect to your future self. You may see him or her or that, your future, symbolically, or as a metaphor. You may feel it in your body. You may hear it as sounds, words, or it may be just a sense of knowing. what lies ahead. You might see far into the distance, perhaps a few months, a few years, maybe even generations from now. You may also see just a short way ahead, the next few days, a week perhaps. It may be blurred, it could be hazy, or it may be more clear than even this reality here and now. You might see with real deep clarity any issues, any blocks, maybe things that you have to deal with in order to truly proceed with your own personal evolution. You might see the path divide. You might see two potential outcomes or more ahead of you. And if you do, follow the journey down each branch of your path. You might even see the junction points where a crucial decision is going to be made. Spend as long as you like now deeply meditating on this personal evolutionary path just as it arises. From your far distant past to your far distant future. Be aware of the revelations that come to you. What do you uncover? What is revealed to you? Be aware. Now, return to where you are right now, this present moment, this point in time in your personal evolution. Become very, very still. Right here, right now, centered and very, very present with all that is. Allow yourself to become aware of the very next step on your own evolutionary path, what that could be. Notice what comes to mind, what arises in your heart. Is this a tiny step? Is this a big step? Is it something you're ready for? Is it something that you are willing to step into? Does it take time? Does it take preparation? Is this something you're looking forward to? Or maybe you have some hesitation and resistance to it. Is it something you want to do soon? Is it something you're waiting for, perhaps some sign or synchronicity to arise? What needs to happen in order for you to be ready to take this next step on your evolutionary path? Allow yourself to see that actually happening. Step into it, sensualize it with as many senses as possible. What does it look like? What does it feel like? What does it sound like? To take this next step, to take it successfully, completely, fully in your power. Dive deep into that moment now, stepping into your power, stepping into that moment in your own personal evolutionary journey. Step into that moment and take the next step now. Now, staying in that moment, staying in that crucial step, staying in the consciousness and awareness of that moment. Slowly, as if you are a phoenix or an eagle flying above your past and present and future, slowly survey the whole scene, the whole evolutionary path, finding landmarks, images, symbols, so that you can find your way back to this path anytime, easily, quickly, whenever you need to, and put yourself right here in that next step, in that moment. And then whenever you're ready, as you begin to bring your awareness back to this body, feel the entire cosmos supporting your evolutionary path. Feel all the stars and planets. Feel the earth. Feel the area around your apartment or house, all supporting this evolutionary step. Feel into your room. Even the space and the molecules around you are dancing with this evolutionary purpose. Feel into your body. Feel every cell of your body completely aligned with the universe and its purpose for you. Feel into your heart. Feel into that single point in your heart that's so focused on your evolutionary purpose and your next step that you're carrying in your heart those symbols, those images, those landmarks, those moments with you deep in your heart. Go right into the center point of that focus, the 0 point of infinite potential of creation itself, and rest with the images, symbols, and landmarks right there, and the infinite potential of everything that you can possibly create. It's right here, inside you. And with that next step, and with those symbols, images, and landmarks, with all those sounds and feelings coursing through your body, slowly open your eyes, aware that everybody on this call, every single person, along with you, every one of us, is turned into that energy and that awareness of our evolutionary purpose. Me and Garth and Kevin, Becca, Byron and Bill, Brian and Cindy, Connie, Hamish and Firth, Janet and Liz, Louise and Michelle, Monica and Susan, Wendy, all of us, we're all at this exact moment, we are all feeling and supporting each other's evolutionary purpose right this very moment. We can feel and sense the power of this collective support and how we uplift each other, especially when we share, and especially when we know exactly what we do need to do to support each other. So if you feel guided in the next few minutes to put any steps of your evolutionary journey or where you were in that moment or any significant symbols or landmarks or images into the chat, or if you want to share with Kevin, as I hand back to Kevin, please do share anything. As you share it, especially verbally or in writing, you tend to objectify your experience. You actually bring that experience out into the open, and we can all embrace it with you. So thank you always for that incredible opportunity to take that evolutionary journey with you. And I'll pass back to Kevin. And Kevin, always such exquisite guidance. And we take that journey together. Kevin and I have done this for, I think, a very long time. So I always feel like I'm on that evolutionary journey with Kevin, always.
Absolutely. Thank you, Stephen, for that beautiful guidance. Thank you all for engaging with us. And if anyone would like to share anything about that experience, either in the chat or verbally out loud, we welcome that. Okay, a couple hands. Connie, then Monica. I'm not sure who was first, but I see both hands up there.
I don't know. Shall I fight you for it, Monica? No.
It's all yours.
Okay. So Kevin and Stephen, thank you for the practice. And I was wondering if either of you, this reminded me of Tad James timeline therapy. Have either of you heard of that or worked with that?
I have not, no.
There's a book that I read in college, so it's been around a long time. This must have been about 1988. And I was taking a course in the creative process, and we read a book called The Secret of Creating Your Future. and Tad James was the author, and it uses the timeline construction to basically do a much longer and more involved version of what we just did. Picturing your timeline and then looking back, being able to adjust things if you need to in your own timeline, looking forward and being able to adjust things as you need to going forward to create a timeline that has the aspects of life that you're that you feel drawn toward. And it was a really interesting book, and at the time I was a little young to really appreciate it completely. And I went back and reread it several years back and found it was really helpful. So I would recommend maybe look. I think it's still out there, still available. Like I said, it's pretty old now.
Nice.
Anyway, yeah, it was. This was a good practice for me, and my timelines changed a lot based on just things that have revealed themselves as I've gone along. That I wasn't necessarily expecting. So I try not to put too much specificity on the future of my timeline because I want to leave it open for things to develop organically as they're supposed to. And I know that a lot of blessings will present themselves. And I want to program some of that, but some of it I just want to be open to as it occurs. So.
Beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Connie. Yeah, and that's so in the language of Anna Wise, the Tad James is more of a beta brainwave approach where you're adjusting things and making conscious, like here projecting, versus like a theta brainwaves where you're allowing the subconscious to reveal itself to you, just being open. So, and I think both of those practices can be really powerful too. Always knowing that each moment we make choices that give us a whole new timeline. So it's just like you said, it's important to recognize that a timeline is appearing to us right now, according to where we are at this moment. But the next moment we take another step, then our timeline opens up in all different ways, just by making a new choice or making a little bit of a shift. And then we have a whole new timeline each moment. Thank you for that, Connie. Monica?
Yeah, I love that, Connie, what you shared and the wanting it to, unfold organically. And I love that practice, you guys. That was really fun. Thank you, Stephen and Kevin. And it was really interesting. And some of you might find this comical, but my symbol was the musical artist Prince, where he changed his name and it's formally known as Prince. That was my symbol.
The symbol.
And it said formerly known as Monica.
Nice.
And then it was like the last, like I went this way horizontal and it was the past. And then it was like up to now 55. So I'll be 55 this year or this month. And then, and it just showed that symbol. I think it was like a male female sign. And then I looked back from that and it showed the hurdles like that I jumped over, and the clairaudient word was, you've passed all the hurdles, sometimes barely, but you passed. I thought that was funny. And then I looked ahead and it was really interesting because it said, now just step on, those moving walkways in the airport. It said, now all you need to do is step on it and we'll take you the way. All you have to do is show up and be ready and say yes and trust that we've got you. Like, and it felt smoother to me than my past. And then I just had to show up and not be afraid, is what it felt like. And then on the left side of the walkway, there was a lot of people. On the right, there was just some scattered, sprinkled people. And I don't know if that's female, more female, less male. I kind of interpreted it that way, but I could be just making that up. But then it just felt really beautiful. And it felt like my only job was to trust and show up. And that does sound easy as we're talking, but sometimes it's not when you're doing certain things. But I was happy to see the smoothness of it. And then it felt like I lived to be 85. Felt like, and then it showed a point where it said, okay, your time's up in this body. But then there was an arrow pointing, but you go on, but your time's up now in this form. And I don't know, it was really cool, you guys. So I really enjoyed it. I just thought it was really, it felt really, really good to me. And so thank you.
Thank you, Monica.
Signing off, formerly known as Monica.
Nice. Well, as you know, I'm a huge Prince fan who went to many Prince concerts. So I resonate with that. And I also, since I share your timeline, resonate with the smooth walkway. So I like that for us. So
oh, nice.
I'll join you on that one.
Okay.
And Monica, I like that I've got at least 30 years more of swimming in the pool in Sedona with you.
Oh.
And I also love the fact that, you know, Connie is busy knitting our respective timelines into, you know, little do all of you on the, you know, on this call know, but Connie's actually knitting all of our timelines together. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
So she's actually the weaver. She's holding our cosmic perspectives, you know, in harmony. And she's kind of going, oh, I need a little extra stitch for Monica, you know, to keep those 30 years alive.
It is.
Oh, wow. There we go.
Wow.
It covers 2023. Every line is the high temperature for one day, for the day in 20. So it's very long already. I'm almost done with it. So
wow, love that. That is very cool.
And I'll be swimming in the pool with Monica and cruising along on the walkway, like kind of to Monica and Kevin. So that'll be good.
We'll have to invite everybody here to join us in the pool, like literally, and we'd like everyone to come and join us in the pool in Sedona and the walkway. So
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks.
It is. I'm just aware of how funny reality is, you know, because when Monica, when you and Kevin are, you know, potentially moving into California, around about just a few days later, I'll be flying over the top of you, the top of you both on my way from Canada to Monterey. And it's like, it's a very funny journey, I think. And, you know, I'm aware there are people like Hamish and Furfer in Canada, and I'm hoping that my journey is going to cross lots of different people here. Louise is in Canada. You know, there's all these amazing synchronicities that happen as our timelines weave together, you know, in reality, that there's a extraordinary kind of thing that happens. Yes, so I'm weaving my way from Japan. I've just come back from Dubai. Now I'm going to Canada next week, then to Mexico, and then to Sedona, and then to Japan, then to Europe. So I feel like I'm, you know, there's a way in which in reality we weave across everybody's timelines, even if I mightn't stop. It's like it's just really funny when you think about that. Like Connie's knitting, you know, we're all weaving into each other's timelines all the time.
We'll wave to you, Stephen.
Thank you guys.
Kevin?
Thank you guys for that practice.
You're welcome. Bill?
Yes, thank you very much to to the both of you. It's a wonderful practice, and thanks for your comments, Monica and Connie. Wonderful. Of course, in the meditation, I encountered the whiteness, the white strip, and I had tried to see the past and the present, and I encountered something. It ended up encountering something I encountered 15 years ago. I was doing a spiritual direction 2-year course, and I was working on something there, and all of a sudden it changed, but it was to do with the past and present. And this past and present, it was a white, that's all it was, past and present. So I made the white present. And then I realized there's a unity. And you know how it ended up not just a strip, it ended up, what do they call it, a Mobius strip, where you would turn, Mobius strip, yeah, and you turn it, and there is no separation.
Yeah,
it's all one. That is the unity. So I'm sitting here, and, oh my goodness, there is no past or present. It's a unit. There's unity between the past and the present. There is no separation between them. It's just the journey, and it's looped.
It's beautiful.
A singularity, I think, of past and present. There is no it's not a separate thing. You just are on this journey, and like the strip, So anyways, that kind of had to shake my head on that one.
Love that, Bill.
When it came into the reality of the session you had, and it just gradually formed the picture and a few words, and well, that's that strip where there is no past or present. It just rolls in as one journey. So thank you. That was wonderful.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you very much.
The eternal now contains all.
So true. So true. Bill, you're our eternal now, for sure.
Wendy.
On the theme of past being present in all of this, actually, I thought of Bill in the middle of this, towards the end of this meditation, because, well, I'll explain. But 40 years ago, I was with Tad James when he was developing his timeline therapy. We were in a team of people, and he was developing that. So I've done a lot of timeline therapy.
Beautiful.
But I love it. And one of the major events of my life was coming to Encinitas in 1969. That is my first spiritual realization that what I wanted in life was to love God and to have that be the main aim of my life. And I spent a lot of time in his property, his home, his meditation gardens that are here, as well as what was his little chapel. And now I live here again, and in the past several weeks, I've spent time in the meditation gardens meditating again. So it's like a past, present, and as well as seeing the future. I found that, looking at the many paths we could take, Stephen, that what I saw was all these many paths, and then they all braided together and ended in the same place. It was it was really beautiful. And that goes with what Monica was saying about swimming in the pool and how we all come together. We have these paths that are together, and in the present moment, we are all presently together in this moment, and our paths will diverge for a period of time, but then they will braid together again. It was really a beautiful process. And I found my future was more about a state of consciousness than events in my future. It was stillness, peace, love, that clear light. And my present was my whole body being on a cellular level, sort of filled with hot, cold, whatever, aliveness in my body. And if there was a symbol, I kept seeing this round, goldish symbol. I was like, what is that? All I could see was a disc. And I was like, oh, it's that Mexican calendar. I don't even know what it's
calendar.
called. Yeah, the Mayan calendar. And so that was interesting too. It was a wonderful process. Thank you all so much. And I love being in the present with you here, and that regardless of how our paths diverge, they will braid together in the future. I thought it was wonderful. Thank you so much.
Beautiful,
Wow.
Wendy.
Wendy, I love that we're Connie is our knitter, you're our braider. I saw us all as your braided hair, right? And we're all kind of climbing up your braids saying, take me on the journey, Wendy. Because I'm aware, one of the funny things that is happening between all these retreats I'm running in different parts of the planet is that in between, people are flying into Japan. Like I had 2 last week. I've got another one on the weekend, another one in the middle of next week. And I know you're coming to Japan at some point. So, right. So it's like, I know our paths are going to cross. It's really fun. There's a lot of beautiful synchronicities that are happening. So yeah. So thank you for sharing your braids.
For those of you interested in more in the Tad James, a lot of good comments in the comments, a lot of connections here to that work, which is really interesting that you brought that up, Connie. Lots of folks are really familiar with that. Awesome. Anyone else before we go? All right. Well, as always, thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, Stephen, for co-guiding. And thank you to Humanities Team and Garth for hosting us. And we'll continue with Awakening the Mind. Let's see, next week we'll be healing blocks next week. So as we imagine ourselves on our evolutionary path, just looking into any blocks that might be there that are have been supportive to us, but that we're ready to release and open up new parts of our journey. All right, so have a wonderful week. Love and blessings to all of you, and we'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye for now.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle's Oz is on my list.
You have to tell me what Oz is someday.
Australia.
Stephen, where are you going in Canada, Stephen?
Vancouver, Montreal, and Toronto.
Oh,
For very short. I'm like got very tight windows where I'm doing like 2-day retreat, 2 days. So I'll let you all know when I actually know the exact timing of each one. Yeah.
I'll wave at you.
I know. I know Fisher. I know Hamish and Fiff are there as well. So I've got all these things. I've been busy thinking, how do I do this? I'm gonna have to. Anyway, it's lovely. It'll be very nice.
All right, everyone.
Thank you.
Wonderful week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.